Well, tomorrow marks 2 months since an Alaska Airlines flight had to return to PDX after its door plug blew out mid-flight.
Now, Alaska Airlines and Boeing are facing yet another lawsuit from 3 passengers on board that flight. Fox 12's Julia Lopez joins us now with more from the attorney representing those passengers. Julia?
I'm live from Portland International Airport, where it all started 2 months ago. I spoke with the attorney representing those 3 passengers seeking $1 billion in damages, and he says this is not the first time a 737 MAX has been linked with life-threatening issues, but he hopes after this case, it's the last.
So they were left with a screen porch in an airplane. They were left looking outside while they were flying in an airplane.
Jonathan Johnson represents 3 passengers on Alaska Airlines Flight 1282 who he says are suffering daily anxiety and extreme fear when alleged negligence led to a door plug detaching from their plane mid-flight.
Well, of course, at the time, they thought they were going to die in a plane crash, and they were super distressed after landing.
He says all 3 passengers are getting mental health support and may never fly again. But that's only part of the reason they're seeking $1 billion in damages.
And obviously, if that piece of the if the aircraft flew off and went into the engine or hit a control surface or knocked off the tail, it could have caused the entire plane to crash and killed a whole plane load of people.
Johnson says it was a, quote, mere load of luck that the passengers of Flight 1282 weren't killed during the 737 MAX 9's emergency landing. After 2 deadly crashes by 737 MAX 8 jets in 2018 and 2019 that killed more than 300 people, and now this scare, he wants Boeing to make changes.
We're trying to get Boeing's attention so that they'll invest the resources necessary to make the aircraft safe.
This lawsuit seeks compensatory and punitive damages. Johnson aims to bring the case to trial. He says even $1 billion can't rid these passengers of their trauma, but will hopefully lead to permanent improvements for the 737 MAX.
We don't have to keep hearing that the fleet's grounded and everyone's travel plans are ruined because they can't put the bolts in on an aircraft.
These 3 passengers are in addition to 22 others who sued Alaska Airlines and Boeing in a separate lawsuit alleging negligence and trauma. Boeing is also being sued by its shareholders amid an investigation by the National Transportation Safety Board and the FAA. Both Boeing and Alaska Airlines declined to comment. Live from PDX, Julia Lopez, Fox 12 Oregon.